Hey guys, what's going on? Kel back here yet again, representing the 40k YouTube channel, bringing you another Warhammer 40,000 faction focus video, and today it's all about the Tyranids. This is actually the second time I recorded the video. For those of you who watched the new Inquisition rules yesterday, you knew that I had some issues, whatever they were, trying to update this video, trying to put it on the channel. For whatever reason, it hasn't worked. So, and I think the video is corrupted, so I've just gone back and I'm going to record it again. So this is a day late. I do apologise, but on the plus side, over the past 24 hours, YouTube has informed me of a new subscriber. So when I originally recorded this video, I did 2 shout-outs at the beginning. So today, I get to do 3. So the first one to one of the new subscribers is, and I hope I pronounce this right, is Multi-Exian. Thank you very much for just subscribing, mate. Thank you very much. Me and Carl massively appreciated, especially myself, because your little profile picture is a picture of Vegeta, the best Dragon Ball Z character by far out of the lot. It ain't Goku, it will always be Vegeta, don't care what anyone says. Also, a big shout out to Richard Smith. Thank you very much for subscribing, Richard. Me and Carl massively appreciate your sub and following us. Thank you very much. And lastly, which is the newest one, which is Craig Rashford. Craig Rashford, thank you very much, mate. It's a massive one to have so many people. We're now up to 33 subscribers, including you 3. So thank you very much for the support and the comments and the followers. Really good. If you are new to 40k and new to 40k, we put out Warhammer 40,000 content every single day, as long as YouTube works, of course, that is. And we do news, reviews, hints, tips and tricks, painting videos, and in-time battle reports. And there was a comment put up earlier on about the battle reports, asking if we can do World Eaters. We can do World Eaters. Carl has a Chaos Force. I will talk to him today and see if he's willing to do one of the missions as World Eaters. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. But about today's video, it's once again faction focus, and today it's about the Tyranids. So let's get into the Tyranids and see what they can get. So, Tyranids are everyone's favourite extra galactic bio-horrors. But how will they adapt to the new edition of Warhammer 40,000? Probably quite well. Adaptation is like kind of their thing. But just to be on the safe side, we've asked renowned Tyranids expert Danny the Swarm Lord Ruiz to give us some pointers. But first, let's introduce the faction to those who may be unfamiliar. And for those who are unfamiliar to the Tyranids, they are all like bugs, kind of. If you look at Starship Troopers gives you a good idea of who the Tyranids are. And in the front, we've got some Termagants. We have some big hidden models at the back and some Gene Stealers at the top. And as the article says, the Tyranids are from another galaxy. They come in massive hive fleets, but the Tyranids are from another galaxy and they're here to devour everything within our galaxy. So who are they? The Tyranids are an utterly alien race of creatures whose will is collectively controlled by a mass consciousness called the hive mind. Such is its oppressive presence that psykers struggle to manifest their powers when facing a Tyranid invasion, finding their connection to the warp all but smothered by the intangible shadow of the hive mind. When a hive fleet descends upon a prey world, the planet's inhabitants are overwhelmed by wave after wave of expendable bio-constructs. Well, every planet except Baal, because Baal didn't get knocked down, did it? Each Tyranid creature is custom grown to perform a particular part in the attack. From the largest siege beast capable of tearing open the thickest fortress gates to the living insectile ammunition spat forth from their myriad organ weapons. Once a planet forced the Tyranids, it is stripped bare, its biomass consumed wholesale by the Hive Fleet to be repurposed into new warriors so the grim cycle can be repeated on the next world. So how will they play in the new edition? For the technical stuff, we'll pass you over to the mouthpiece of the hive mind, Danny Ruiz. As an official Las Vegas Open judge and frontline gaming's Tyranids guru, it's fair to say he knows more about the hive fleets than Cassius and Tigorus combined. Danny opens with, "Hello everyone, I'm truly privileged to chat about what's fresh and exciting for the Tyranid hive mind in the new edition of Warhammer 40,000. I love big bugs and cannot lie. First up, Tyranid monsters get a huge boost in their viability. with the ability to shoot into combat and more terrain rules to help keep them alive, and a generous vertical engagement range. You'll want to bring the big hitters. If you're worried about your beloved behemoths getting blasted before they get to do their best, you can spend command points to put them in strategic reserve and have them show up when and where you need them. Want to save those command points for tasty surprises? Well, Tyranid is always an option, and here it is a monster too, so it can fire all those death spitters into combat as well. And there we've got some of the larger Tyranid models that float about and can just wreck things when they get hold of them in those tentacles. If you're looking to protect your advancing line of Gribblies, Merceptor is a handy option. It's I tried to pronounce this in the other video and I couldn't. Encephalic diffusion stratagem. Encephalic diffusion stratagem. It's especially handy on the first turn to take the edge off enemy artillery and heavy weapons as they advance. It costs 2 CP, and you can use the stratagem at the start of your turn. Select one Malceptor model from your army until the end of that turn. When resolve an attack made with a ranged weapon against a friendly unit within 6 inches of the model, subtract 1 from the weapon's strength characteristics to a minimum of 1 for that attack. Another sneaky trick, and a favoured tactic of gene stealers across the galaxy, is to make use of the new dense cover rules. To close on the enemy line, any means of limiting the enemy's firepower until you get into slicing and dicing range is an opportunity you should grab with both sets of claws. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the dense cover rules, so we'll go through it and leave some comments below, guys, and let me know what you think about the new cover rules. But dense cover, if this terrain feature is at least 3 inches in height, then subtract 1 from the hit roll when resolving attack made with a ranged weapon, unless you can draw straight lines 1mm in thickness to every part of at least one model's base or hull in the target unit from a single point on the attacking model's base or hull, without any of those lines passing over or through any part of any terrain feature with this trait. And what I've seen, I'll just leave it there for a second, because what I've seen people do is, I'll say, if you have a group, a squad of like 10 in a terrain feature, and 9 of them are visible, and you keep 1 behind the terrain feature where can't be in, that means that the 1 model out the group can't be seen, so you're going to be at -1 to hit all the time, as long as you keep 1 model well hidden. Models that are on or within an area terrain feature with this trait do not suffer this penalty if the only terrain feature these lines pass over or through is the terrain feature that the attacking model is or within. So basically, you can shoot out of the cover as long as the cover that you're shooting is the only cover that's there. If you're shooting from your cover and you've got to shoot into another cover that's 3 inches tall, then you're going to be at a -1 to hit as well. Models within 3 inches of an obstacle terrain feature with this trait do not suffer this penalty if the only terrain feature these lines pass over or through is the terrain feature that the attacking model is within 3 inches of. The height of a terrain feature is measured from the highest point on the terrain feature. And to sum it up, you basically subtract 1 from the hit rolls made for ranged weapons if at least 3 inches tall. It does not apply to models that are only shooting through their own terrain feature, and there's no penalty when shooting at aircraft and units with wound characteristics of 18+. As such, I can't wait for the opportunity to field an effective army filled with Tyranid monsters. Always remember to think carefully about your army composition. If your high fleet sends out mostly monsters, you may end up having trouble completing some missions, so don't overcommit early and lose out on the objective game. I hope to see you all on the tabletop soon. You can always drop me a line at TFG Radio. Check out my weekly articles at Frontline Gaming, and come chat while I do my rounds at LVO. Enjoy the new edition, fellow Synapse creatures. Cool. And it goes on, like the other ones have, to key units. So Danny has also been putting thought, or maybe he's had thoughts placed into his brain by the hive mind, we won't tell, about which units will likely stand out from the hordes in the new edition. They're not all monsters either, and here we have Old One Eye and Carnifexes. Old One Eye is a great model. It is a bit old now. It could probably do with a revamp, but the lore and the story behind Old One Eye, it's kind of, if you've heard the word perpetual before, it's kind of something that can die but keeps coming back, kind of like Vulcan. Vulcan's a perpetual. And One Eye is supposedly the perpetual of the Tyranids, as it's been killed multiple times on multiple planets, and it keeps showing up, which is really cool. So Danny, I'm personally quite excited to field Old One Eye, flanked by new Carnifexes with 2 sets of Twin Devourers and monstrous Acid Maws. A little twist on the tried and true DAC effects. You get a high volume of shooting that can take down infantry with ease, and it's backed up with scary melee powers. Usually hitting on a 3+, thanks to Old One Eye's Alpha Leader ability, that will take big bites out of any armoured targets. This makes for mean 1-2 punch and a solid force to push onto enemy held positions. An Alpha Leader, you can add 1 to hit rolls in the fight phase for friendly high fleet Carnifex units within 6 inches of the model. So as long as you can get Old One Eye darting in and out the cover, in and out the terrain, and you get him into close combat, he can be an absolute beatstick. And here we have a Tyranifex, which is like a heavy artillery model. It's a more modern model than Old One Eye. I mean, look how big that bioweapon is. Just ridiculous. Danny says, some called me mad when I showed up with 3 Tyranifexes with acid spray, but no longer. They put down a lot of heat and can take a punch or 5. And who needs to worry about degrading profiles or penalties to shooting in combat when you have a weapon that hits automatically? And if you remain stationary, you get double the fun. Tyranifexes make a great wall to push forward early and dominate the centre. And what is an acid spray, I hear you ask? So acid spray is a weapon that has 18-inch range. It has a heavy 2d6 shots. Its strength user AP-1 and it's D3 damage each. But the beauty is this weapon automatically hits its target. So it's kind of like a flamer, but an 18-inch auto hitting flamer. Strength user as well. I can't remember what the strength is of a Tyranifex. I'm guessing it's about a 5 or a 6 maybe. So it is a heavy hitting flamer, definitely worth taking at least 1. We have some Tyranid warriors, a mixture there of close combat and one with a shooty weapon on the right hand side. And Danny says, to help stock up on armour, don't forget about the humble Tyranid warriors. With multiple wounds as well as the adaptive physiology rules and their bespoke stratagem for Blood of Baal, they're quite handy. They also have the all-important infantry keyword, making them excellent at helping out with controlling objectives. Being objective secured and synapse is just the icing on the biomass. And for 1 CP, they have unyielding chitin. So use a stratagem in your charge phase or your opponent's shooting phase. When a Tyranid Prime or Tyranid Warriors, one unit from your army is chosen as a target of an attack made with a ranged weapon until the end of that phase, when resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon against the unit, reduce the damage characteristics of that weapon by 1 to a minimum of 1. And where I've seen this used really well is against Hellblasters. So when people overcharge the Hellblasters to get that flat 2 damage, not only will they now run the risk of on a 1, the Hellblaster will just die. You can use this stratagem, so all those two hidden shots that would come through, you can knock them all down to 1. So it's putting the people who use the Hellblasters at greater risk again. And it finishes with, thanks Danny, how are you planning to harvest the biomass from your enemies on the battlefield? Let us know at Warhammer 40,000 Facebook page, Instagram, and on Twitter using hashtag new 40k. So yeah guys, I'm going to try and upload this video again. Hopefully it works this time. But like I said when I recorded the first video, what do you guys think? Any Tyranid players out there looking forward to the new rules, especially the terrain rules, and the fact that you're getting to shoot into combat? Let me and Cole know. We can't wait to have some more comments. The comments have been coming in thick and fast lately, and we've replied to all of them so far, I believe, unless there's any gone up in the time that I've re-recorded this video. If you, like I said at the beginning, if you're new to the channel, this is 40 Call. We post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day. just like this until lockdown is up. And when the lockdown is up, we will be doing even more great things. So if you've liked what you've heard today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to, hit the bell notification. We would greatly appreciate it. We look forward to getting to 100 subs. Might not sound like a lot. There are more YouTube videos out there with way more than 100, but 100's a good goal to start with, and we will hope to see everyone hitting that subscribe button and joining the fun. But that's going to be it, guys. This is Kel, signing out for 40k. As always, stay safe, look after each other, and until next time, guys, we will see you all later.